I do want to ask you about healthcare, your vision, your views as to how things need to change moving forward. You talk about the United States compared to other countries. You talk about decentralizing healthcare. And I also thought was interesting, what stuck out, how one size fits all healthcare shaped in DC, how that addresses, or in your aspects, doesn't address regional differences in this country. That's a lot wrapped up into one, right? And that's why, if you want to read the epilogue of the book, the end of the book, that's a great place to start to really
That's right.
hone in
Look,
on
when I
that.
came here in 1975, I thought the American healthcare system was the best in the world. Okay. Fast forward 50 years, today, I don't think it is the best in the world. I think it's very costly, very inefficient. The patients are not happy. I mean, a third of bankruptcies are due to medical bills. You know it. At the same time, since the Medicare Act of 65, things became concentrated, and you had basically a one size fits all approach to all problems healthcare, right? And then you had these monopolies that formed, only three big companies for insurance and healthcare systems. So when you look as a doctor and you look at the map of diseases in the US, you find that it's very different in Mississippi from Minnesota or Colorado to Maryland. And that is completely ignored. And when the Federal Reserve works, it doesn't work from Washington, only in Washington, controlled by the Congress, right? It has 12 regions of the US because the economies are just not the same from one region to the other. Well, why not do that for healthcare? You know, Canada has 8 or 12 regions, Germany 16, and so on. Every country has regionalized its healthcare system to better address what happens to patients. And patients are not at the table. That's the biggest problem, is that those who really need to have a voice don't have a voice. And to me, if you're not at the table, you'll be on the menu. And that's why I'm proposing that small changes and tweaks here and there are not going to fix the system. We need to really step back and say, how do we do that? It could be that HHS divides itself in 12 regions under the secretary and addresses the local issues with their own approach, their own innovation specific to the disease burden that is in that region. That's the idea. I'm skeptical that anybody will follow it. I'm a little naive, but at the end of the day, that's my job, is to come up with suggestions that are not on the table today.